Thank you, Raymond. I'll be very brief. Every nation has the right to protect its borders from those who would do us harm. We need to protect our citizens from drugs and criminals and human trafficking. Americans need to be protected. When children are in kindergarten, they learn that they are not to take cuts. No one likes to be being cut off on the freeway or having somebody cut up in front of you in the grocery store line. And then there's a process that my parents, my grandparents, my uncles, my aunts, leaving the Netherlands after World War II, they had real reasons to flee Europe. They waited their turn. And that process is still in place today. And even kids know we have to follow the rules and not take cuts. Thank you.
And with that said, the reason that we're here is to talk to the mayor and the city council of Ontario. You know, we want them to support this resolution because democracy starts at home. It starts right here at the city council tonight. We're asking them to support Arizona, to support, you know, the right thing, support democracy in America. And the reason that we ask the city council is because the coalition of people, you can see them here right now, there's 2/3, it's estimated that 2/3 of the American people stand with the Minutemen, stand with the Tea Party, stand with 9/12. The hair on the back of their neck is standing straight up, and it's rigid, and they're hot under the collar. We will not be denied. But there's a better, you know, coalition that we're trying to get, Robin and I, and we the people, and that is the coalition of the body politics at all levels of government, because they too can coalition together, and they too have their own political impact that can be made at the next level of government. And this is why it's important for this mayor to stand with us, because remember one thing, democracy is the will, it is the voice, and it is the mandate of we the people. If we let it get away now, American posterity would be lost forever. The American culture will be gone forever. The Republican form of government lost forever. And I, for one, will not stand by and witness it. Thank you for being here. God bless. How many minutes are left? Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? We still have a little bit of time here. So one of our favorite things to do is we have a thing we call open mic. This is where we invite the people out of the crowd to come up here and, you know, air it out. See what you might have to say or whatever. And we'll go from there. Before we do that, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Emily, you want to hold your flag up here for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Speak?
Yeah, you can film me when I go.
I think you can.
Ready?
Wait till I
begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all who fight for it.
And our first open mic speaker is David Espinosa.
I'm sure we're all here for the same thing. I have a lot of friends of mine that are in Mexico. I visit Mexico. There we have to carry our passports. There shouldn't be any different over here. But the point I want to make though, none of us, all of us that are here, we're not prejudiced. We just want everybody, if they come over legally, we welcome them with open hands, open arms. But when you break the law, that's where we got to draw the line. It has nothing to do with prejudice while we're here. It has to do with breaking the law. We're a country of law-abiding citizens. They should follow the same rules as we have to when we go to their country. And I've been harassed before in their country, believe me, and I've had to pay my way out of it for something tedious. They get away with it here. I'm sorry. We don't do that. Our laws, we don't work that way. So we're all here. That's not because we're prejudiced. No, none of us are prejudiced. We, you know, like I say, we open our arms to any nationality as long as they come here legally. Do not break the law. They have to understand we're a country of law-abiding citizens. We're raised with that through our parents, our grandparents. So what should make them any different? Nothing. They have to obey the laws just like we do. So with that being said, I wanted to air that out.
Next speaker, Laura Boatwright of the American Tea Party. Well, you can give
Just Jane Q. Public. I'm really just Jane Q. Public, and I'm a resident of Ontario, and I'm a very proud Ontarian, and I'm a proud Californian, and I'm a proud American. I'm with Mr. Herrera. I love the people of Mexico. My heart goes out to them. Their problems are the Mexican government. Their problems are the corruption below the border. And I very much am with them if they would protest, but that needs to be in Mexico City.
Right.
And if they did that, I said the other night at another engagement I was at, I would hope that a freedom-loving country like America would support people trying to form a government that would secure their rights.
Right.
However, what we're dealing with in California and Arizona and all the border states, and in fact not even just the border states anymore, is not only the amount of money, but the sacrifice of our own kids for the benefit of other nations' children. And I have a 12-year-old right here that I've pulled out of public school because, you know, they don't even teach them how to read. They're too busy doing other social agendas. And that's illegal immigration is one of the symptoms of that, but we spend so much money on bilingual education that by and large, even those families don't want, because they know that bilingual education is not beneficial even for their kids. They can't progress in America if they don't learn English, and the best way to learn English is to submerge in English. So at any rate, I love the Mexican people. I live right here in Ontario. We have a lot of illegal immigrants right here in Ontario. Some of them have been my neighbors. Their kids have played in my house, and I have fed them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. All right? This is not about the love of the people. This is about the rule of law and national sovereignty.
I'll throw out a little number and a little story here. About a month ago, the LA Times carried a story that came out of Mexico. Their 10 top screenwriters, at the behest of the Mexican government, were asked to do a 10-minute black and white video on, you know, the dilemmas of Mexico. One of their top screenwriters wrote that there's 40 million of his people on American soil, and that's more accurate to the numbers that I've been keeping. Just to give you an idea of what 40 million represents, there's 300 million Americans today. Well, actually about 260. But when you look at procreation, and let's say that they go ahead and have, like, procreate a family of 4, you got it 4 times 40 million is 160 million. Then they have the right to bring their mom and dad and their aunts and uncles. That's over 200 million plus Mexicans on American soil. I'm talking people born in Mexico. Over 200 million plus Mexican nationals on American soil. We don't have the infrastructure, and they can't have our democracy or our American culture. But if we don't stand up to Washington, in about 5 years, everything that you see will be from Mexico. Our next speaker is from Ontario, and her name is Susan. She's also one of our ralliers, and she'd like to have a few words with you.
All right. Go Susan. Woo!
Hi, I'm Susan. I live in Ontario, and I was a job developer a few years ago for a nonprofit, and we contracted with the state of California Department of Rehabilitation, and my job was to help find blind and legally blind people jobs. And some of the jobs that blind people can do were with the Social Security Administration, you know, answering phones, information jobs, and actually it required a pretty high degree of intelligence to do those jobs. And I had several clients who applied, and of them, I think about one. She was a black lady. She had a master's degree. She was just highly intelligent, but she was totally blind from birth.